as we do every Tuesday, we are joined by our injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, powered by Amon-Ra of Southfield. And Doc, look, we're just going to get into it. I'd ask you how the Labor Day weekend was.
You guys are all riled up.
Yeah, everybody's riled up. Everybody's ready to go. But, Doc, the news that's kind of rocking the football world right now.
Yeah.
Right here in front of me, I have it, Yahoo Sports, ESPN. Micah Parsons reportedly dealing with a sprain in the back, may need an epidural injection to play Week 1 with the Packers. Yahoo Sports reporting he's dealing with an L4, L5 facet joint sprain in the vertebrae in his back. And that's according to multiple media reports. So, Doc, I don't know the specifics of that because I'm not you. You're the doctor here. I will say this, Doc. When I hear epidural shot to play football, ...
To the back.
To the back,
Not
Doc.
an elbow.
Now you have, my understanding is you have done this in the sports setting before, right?
Oh, God, yeah. This is what I've
So break it down.
I was the first one in Michigan as a PM&R doctor doing these types of procedures. So, yeah, there's a lot wrong. It's fun to listen to you guys and see what the layperson, the non-medical people, how they interpret. There's so many things wrong with what you just said, right? So an epidural, okay, right away you hear epidural injection, what do you think of?
He's giving birth.
He's giving birth. Thank you. So he will be giving birth on Thursday. No. Yeah, I mean, that's where you get it, right? But an epidural is for the nerve pain. But then it goes on to say he's got an L4-5 strain to the facet joint, which has nothing to do with an epidural. It's just, so they really don't know what they're reporting on. So it's fun. Probably the doctors that are treating him are laughing harder than I am. But at this point, I mean, we can show some of the anatomy. So there's a big difference here. So one, we can play it to the positive, like I'm always glass half full, but you guys are asking me to talk about the worst of it.
Yeah.
So here,
Never going to play again, right, Doc?
And we're not putting Doc in that spot. But
if he comes to us, we can guarantee good outcomes. But I'm not sure we're going to be.
This I have had before, the herniated disc.
Yeah. So this is a herniated disc. They're not talking anything about a herniated disc, which is the classic for epidural injections and selective nerve root blocks. You can see the anatomy there, what we're talking about, and that's what we inject with. We do a little dye so we know where we're at. We put a little numbing medication, a little steroid to do it. But when you start talking about it, you see the joints, okay? Facets is a fancy name for the joints of the spine.
Okay.
So that's a whole different area. It's not the nerve area. That's an irritated area like a joint, like your shoulder joint. You got to tell out, at this point, I'm hopeful that they know exactly what the pain generator is. So like what we do at Sports and Spine, Michigan Sports and Spine, is we find out what the primary pain generator is. Here, it sounds like they're very good at saying it's an L4-5 strain and an irritation to the facets, which is a common irritation to low back that doesn't radiate. If he has radiating pain, like we're showing in our anatomy, then you're doing an epidural or an selective nerve root block. So we'll say we're going to do the injection. Now the problem with doing the injection the week of a game is not the right thing to do, right? So we heard about the old days about we do an injection in their knee, we put them out there, and they, a year later they find out they completely tore their meniscus and everything like that. That's a little old school thinking. So now if we go ahead and do the injection, and don't do the recovery following the injection, he's at risk of masking the pain. So you might want him to play after the injection because it could make everything worse. So there's a balance of education there. If I'm doing an injection with him, he's not going to a contact sport 3 days later. So there's I don't know how well the news media, like I know news is loyalty and royalty, but I don't know if they're hitting it right now.
So we talked last week about a physical, right? He has to pass a physical in order for the trade to be completed. The doctors have to clear him.
Right.
How do the doctors clear somebody, and then a week later you're finding out, oh man, this guy may not even play, needs all of these numbing agents to get back on the field. And like you're saying, even if he does get back on the field, the problem's not going to get better next week. It's only going to get worse.
Because they probably looked at him to not for the moment, but for the long term, right? So I think that's where they are. Him on the Packers, a long term, with his skill set. I know we're not loving him because he's the Packers, but we still have to give him his credit that he is an unbelievable athlete. Did the doctors look at that this is something that could be recovered and rehabbed, and it leaked out that he might need an injection? The story isn't coming out very clearly right now. So did the doctors overlook something to get somebody like that? That's upper management decision. The doctors give you the facts of what they know. Sometimes they look really hard, and sometimes they look the other way. This may be a look the other way because of the greater potential of what he can be for the Packers.
Harry's World in the chat, Doc, has a question. Do you think he hurt his back because he was trying to carry $188 million in his wallet?
It makes him taller. I don't know.
Okay. Danny G. So Parsons is never going to play again. Is that what you're saying, Doc?
What can, like, honestly, like,
No.
how far can this progress if he does play? Like, if they're like, hey, we need you out there, we're paying you $188 million, get your ass on the field. Like, could this compress into a major injury over time?
It is. What have I always said about low back pain? Your primary issue of recurrence is a previous injury. So he's a low back patient for life. He's got to address it. But then when I talk glass half full, it's better to know now, take care of it, rehab it properly, do the preventatives, do the extra strength, do the extra core work, which he will do because he is a dedicated player. As much as we're not loving him, I can't diss him on his dedication to the game.
How long is the recovery process for something like this? Is it
Something like this could be 2 to 6 weeks if it's true.
6 weeks?
2 to 6 weeks.
They ain't going 6 weeks without playing this guy.
No, of course
they
not.
can't, and that's what.
But you can duct
that's
tape
the
him.
perfect storm here, right? They went all in. They can't sit him for 6 weeks. They're gonna hop him up like Booby Miles in Friday Night Lights. He's gonna go out there
Not Booby Miles.
and injure himself even further. Like, and I don't root for people to get injured, but he's already injured, so I can root for this.
No, you're rooting for proper rehab.
Yes.
And take the time to recover.
No, I'm
properly.
rooting for their doctors to be stupid and not like Dr. Pierce and put him back out there against the better judgment that they have because they paid him all the money. They need production now.
I don't. No good doctor is going to jeopardize no good team. It is a business. He's a businessman.
So here's a question. You've worked for teams before. Is
Yes.
there like upper management ever like, hey, we know it's kind of in the middle. If it's in the middle, we're going to let him play?
It's in the middle, beginning of the season. They're going to make a smart thing for longevity.
Okay.
If you want me to be real,
I do. Always.
Okay.
You're the doctor.
so that's the real thing. So, you can see. I don't know, if Spence, if you have the other video. I mean, I do this on a daily basis. This was my world, was doing epidurals. We talk about millimeters. We talk about people. With him, he'll go to a skill set of physician that does it right. So if you do it right, you rehab it right, you spend the time, and then we don't know how bad it is. If they're talking injection, it must be pretty limiting. We talked about when he was in Dallas, he's not playing. Is it real? Was it fake? Was it fake news? How do you prove it? A sprain to the facet joint is something that is what you feel subjectively versus objectively finding. So here that's the anatomy again. Spence, if you have the one where I'm showing how to do the epidural, or maybe, this is actually where you're injecting into. This is more like the pregnant lady, where you're between the L4 5. You're putting in the injection, you drop the dye, and then you drop the medication in. So it's a 10-minute procedure.
Then go out there.
It
and
makes you
hit
feel good.
Penisul.
For all of us, like I do mine on Thursday and tell you not to do anything resistant until Monday, and then curb your activity. For him, if he gets injected today or tomorrow, he needs 4 or 5 days of rest. And it'll be a game, does it mask it? Yeah. Does he recover and he's strong? That's for his trainers and for him to figure out.
And that was going to be kind of the follow, the time frame of that, what that would look like. Like, if he's going to do this and he's going to play, he would get the shot today, or like how would that go?
Sooner than later. Like today would be the day. We're talking Tuesday. He's playing Sunday. He needs to do it. And don't forget, there's guys that do this secretly around the league.
And Doc, like, look,
they finish Sunday. They go get an injection on Monday for the following.
But those
game.
are guys that are trying to stay in the league.
Well, I mean, it's every like
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is, and you know this. You've been around it. This is different. Like the NFL is the most different league out there. The dudes are the most different. Where a lot of them. I'm not going to speak in unilateral. It's just guys that I've talked to, and I have a very good friend that was an athletic trainer for the Detroit Lions. Like he was blown away by the contrast of being in college sports after being in the NFL, where people want a way out sometimes in college sports, and all the NFL guys just want ways in. Like they don't care. What can I get on this field? How do I get on this field? Period.
Yeah, but that mentality is definitely from yesteryears. Today, you're looking at baseball, you're looking at football, you're looking at basketball. Everybody's how to preserve that kind. These are franchises.
Right.
Every player is a franchise, right? So there's teams to it. So yes, going from professional to college, there is a big difference. Coming to professional, the yesteryears is I can't lose my spot. I can't lose my spot. I can't lose my spot. Get me. I'll take the injection. I'll do that secret sauce that was unpublicized back in the day. Those are the kind of things. But then they also don't want that trainer to know, because they have a mild injury, they don't want to talk to management because it gives them an excuse to mess with their contracts. The business of the purity of the game is messing with it. That's why I'm upset with college. And look at Underwood. I mean, he's got a $3 million contract every year.
Yep.
Right.
What are we doing? So we got to go to Pee Wee football to get the purity of the game again.
That's why I love Pee Wee football.